I'm Matthew Segal. I'm the Executive Director of the Student Association for Voter Empowerment, which is a national nonprofit organization with 23 college chapters. And today we hosted a forum with U.S. Senator and presidential candidate Joe Biden in an effort to bridge the divide between young voters and politicians.
Well, folks, my name's Joe Biden. I'm one of the Democratic candidates for President of the United States of America. Look me over. Test my authenticity. Find out whether or not I know what I'm talking about. Make a judgment. If you like what you see, help me. If not, vote for the other woman or the other man. For God's sake, vote.
There's this sort of catch-22 cycle in that politicians perceive young people as non-voters, and young people, conversely, perceive politicians as disingenuous or not interested in them. And so, as the senator actually called it today, it's a self-sustaining cycle. A great way to increase civic participation would be greater media responsibility in covering young voters. Because if young voters felt more important, if young voters turned on the news and saw themselves covered, then they would be just as inclined as the older voting blocs to want to show up and deliver. So, a big part and a very deeply rooted problem that we're trying to address is this element of the lack of media coverage, and what can we do to break through it. There's young bloggers, there's people on Facebook, there's people who want to write all these stories that they can't get covered for the life of it. So, what can we do? And, one of the things we try to do is bring people in like Joe Biden, because he does attract media. We're huge proponents of out-of-state voters being able to vote in the college locale where they attend or go to school. And for one reason, it's the law. If you live in a state for 30 days, you have residency. And if you have an address, you can vote and participate in that area. Secondly, what better way to actually promote the model of civic engagement than to say to someone, we want you to really identify with and learn the community where you go to school for 4 years and participate there, rather than live in a college town and feel like an outsider. And so we're huge proponents in that you learn this model of civic engagement, that you need to acclimate to a new community. You need to learn the community's issues, and you engage with that community. And then people who say, well, you shouldn't vote there, don't realize that after we graduate college, young people are some of the most mobile demographics there are. We're moving between cities for jobs almost every 6 months. And so we're not going to stay in any locale for a long time. And so 4 years, with all things considered, is quite some time. The out-of-state voters should, definitely, if they're committed enough, drive back and participate. That shows and verifies their commitment to democracy and their commitment to their candidate, and thereby probably their commitment to change for the better. So those who would discourage out-of-state caucusers from going back probably have a inaccessible ideology.